Hey guys, Jenna here. Welcome to my channel where I cover tours of tiny homes and unique spaces. In this week's video, we're going to be taking a look at one couple's converted ambulance turned Overlander tiny home. Greg and Ginger have put a lot of work into this tiny space to make it seem more functional and absolutely livable for full-time on the road. A couple of the things they've integrated into this ambulance tiny home is a convertible bedroom and dinette area, creative hideaway areas for their dish rack, microwave, and air fryer, as well as several converted compartments on the outside of the ambulance for storage, electrical, and even an outdoor hammock setup. So without further ado, let's take a tour of Greg and Ginger's ambulance.
Hi, I'm Ginger.
Bonjour, I'm Greg.
And this is Ross, our adventure ambulance. Before we got on the road, we were maxing out on vacation every year, and it kind of got to the point where we were just waiting for more vacation time so we could travel more.
Ginger came to me one day and asked me like, hey, why do you think about traveling full-time? And I was like, oh yeah, that sounds good. I mean...
Once we got on the road though, we found out that we actually really love going off-road. And that's something that we never did before. We had no idea that we were gonna love off-roading, and as far as the inside of the camper, we really learned what we don't want so that we could build something that is honestly our dream vehicle. We were spending months looking for an ambulance. This one was perfect. It came up while we were quarantined in Mexico, so we had to buy it sight unseen. We had a budget of $56,000 in mind, and in the end we actually spent just over $59,000. That includes the ambulance and all of the modifications and the complete build out of our living space. Let's head inside so I can give you a tour. Right by the door, this is our isotherm fridge and freezer. It is a total of 7 cubic feet. It is huge by camper overlanding standards. We built this rig to do long-term off-grid travel, and having a freezer allows us to keep a lot of meat frozen. And we also have very important items like ice cream and Jägermeister. So this is the inside, and it is 112 square feet. We wanted a four-season, a true four-season camper, so we had to have some very serious insulation. We decided to go with closed cell spray foam. Closed cell spray foam has one of the highest R values. This is our dinette table. It's also, I guess, our office and workspace. We wanted something that was a really good size. We also wanted to be able to have at least 2 other people come in and eat with us inside or play cards or games. We can actually fit 6 of us pretty comfortably since this dinette seat does extend out. What we did in this design is on each side of the dinette, right next to the wall, there's actually a little cubby hole that is padded. Our laptops slide down there. It's padded so they can stay there even when we're going off-road, and they're actually charging when they're down there. One of the things we really love is that when we're sitting at the dinette, we have this awesome view out of this huge window. One of the features we really love about these windows is that they have a built-in screen, and then they also have a built-in shade. So this is what we do, you know, in the evening or whenever we want privacy. Putting up the shade also keeps the heat in or keeps the cool in if we're using the air conditioning. And it's really good for staying a little bit stealth too. When we have both of the window shades up, you can't see that there's any light on inside if you're standing outside. So by raising our dinette about 2 feet off of the ground, we got a ton of storage underneath. So what we did is cubby holes under the bench seats. The bed and the table right now are in what we call daytime position. This is where we have the ability to have one person working and one person sleeping or just relaxing, reading a book up here. In order for us to go to sleep at night, the first thing we have to do is drop the table. It only takes a few, maybe 30 seconds for the table to go all the way down. It is just a full-size bed. Greg built this little step that we just pop out and hop up. Underneath our mattress, we have what is called a Foley system, and that is going to raise the bed up and allow some air to circulate under the mattress. It is actually really common in RVs for people to put their mattress on a platform and then for mold to grow on the bottom of the mattress because of humidity and moisture in the RV. So we absolutely didn't want that. So that's why we have that Foley system. Greg built this custom headboard for us. It was actually pretty complicated to build because it actually is not the same depth from front to back to allow for our mattress to roll up. We do have a charging station for all of our tablets, camera batteries. We have our Sirocco fan, which moves in every direction. One tip we learned from some of our friends along the way was to use extra pillowcases to hold things other than pillows. In this case, we actually keep an Afghan that my mom crocheted for us. And this is a nice, sentimental thing to have from home. But we keep it in here and, no one can really tell that it's not a pillow. We actually use our small pillows on the dinette to hold all of our off-season scarves, hats, gloves. So those actually aren't pillows either. We get a lot of questions about the height in the bed area. We obviously can't sit all the way up, but it's a really comfortable height for us. We don't feel like we're missing out at all by not having entirely full sitting height up here in the bed area. This is our kitchen. We used a lightweight butcher block, which is so far holding up really well. Right here we have a 2-burner induction cooktop. Something that we use a lot more is actually our air fryer oven, which is down below the induction. Our air fryer oven is actually on a slide out. It has tons of room to vent when we're using it. In order to prevent this from sliding out when we're driving, Greg put in a 12-volt electromagnetic lock. And there's actually a button that's hidden up in here. You have to push the button in order to release the lock and pull it out. So we decided to come up with something that would be a built-in drying rack that the water automatically went into the drainage system and our dishes could actually stay in there permanently. So what we've done is we've created this lift-off section in the countertop and all of our utensils live here permanently. Our plates, our bowls live here. To accomplish this, all we did was create a custom aluminum pan in the bottom that is tilted towards the back and drains out into our gray water system. We're not losing counter space by having our dishes drying. Up here we have another hidden appliance. We actually have a very small microwave. The microwave is on a locking slide just like the air fryer oven, and we have a huge pull-out pantry that is behind this chalkboard wall. On the pantry here, we actually have pictures of some of our friends and family that we miss a lot when we're on the road. Being away from them is probably the biggest challenge that we have, so we keep these pictures up here. It's not everyone, but it's really nice to see some faces from home. Up here is a speaker for our surround sound system. We actually have 6 speakers and we have a Logitech surround sound system that is built into the dinette. This is honestly awesome because when we get in bed, pull that TV down, watch a movie, we have really good sound. And then we have our Victron color control, which is kind of the heart of our electrical system. This allows us to monitor our system remotely. We also have a control for our heated floor, which is really nice in the winter.
So we are now in our bathroom area. This area is basically in between the cab of the truck and the living area. I am currently standing in the shower pan. This shower pan is slanted such a way that when we take a shower and the truck is not perfectly level, water will still go toward the front of the truck where the drain is. Also I have here on our left side the access to the shower head is going basically on top. We have our toilet also right here And the shower curtain is also used for privacy when you go to the bathroom. Our toilet is actually a composting toilet from Airhead. This toilet comes usually with a jug on the front to collect the urine. We plumbed it into a tank below the truck, such a way that we don't have to take that jug and empty it manually. It's done at the same time that we empty our gray tank. To me, like, being able to take a shower, brush my teeth, and poop at the same time is not a feature that I really enjoyed. So
you didn't want to sit on the toilet, brush your teeth, and hold the shower head at the same time?
No, I did no.
Yeah,
I mean, for some people, I'm sure that are very like multitask and like to save time. Maybe they would find that it's a great feature, but yeah. Our ambulance comes with a pass-through, which means that we don't have to leave the actual living space to go into the driving space. So this is our Freightliner truck. It's a FL60, and it has a Cummins 8.3 liter diesel engine with Allison transmission. The ambulance is an overall length of about 25 feet and 10.5 feet high. We went with an ambulance because of the safety point of view. It's crash tested and rollover tested. It's hard to get anything better, and going off-road, safety is one of our key components that we wanted to have. Also in the design, we have all our heavy components on the bottom as low as possible to keep our center of gravity low, which help a lot when we go off-road. We have done some upgrades on the wheels and tires. We have split rim, which means that we can open them, allowing us to mount the tires ourselves. Aluminum wheels in order to reduce the overall weight of the vehicle, and also it's reducing the weight on the suspension, which is better for going off-road. When you're buying an ambulance, the thing that you have to be careful is the engine hours. Engine hours are more important than the miles, because ambulance don't necessarily have to drive far, but ambulance stay idling for many hours and not really moving. So you may have a lot of engine hours with very few miles. In terms of fuel efficiency, this truck is not great. We are like highway about 10, maybe a little bit more than 10 miles per gallon. One of the major upgrades also that we've done is fuel tanks. The ambulance came with like a 40-gallon fuel tank, which was really annoying. So I've added 2 fuel tanks, which now allow us to have 110 gallons of fuel. We have, I believe, 900 miles range. On our driver's side, we have 3 storage compartments that we modified. This is our new electrical panel. So when we started with the ambulance, there was a huge electrical panel, and it was a mess. When we tear down the full ambulance, there were wires everywhere. The ambulance didn't come with any wiring diagrams, so I had to route every wire to figure out what it was used for, which took me probably 2 weeks just to do that and to clean up the wiring, basically removing all the wires that were not used or not going to be used and repurposing those for features that we were going to add into the build. On the lower level of the storage compartment, we have our house batteries that are actually 2 Tesla batteries. 24-volt batteries, 433 amp hours, which is equivalent for a 12-volt system to 866 amp hours. 4 solar panels that totals 1200 watts of solar. All right, this is our water system. In our water system, we have our water heater. It's a Kuma water heater, which is basically electric water heater, and it's also coolant. So as we drive, the vehicle heat up our water. Our drinking water goes through 3-stage filters, and we also have a UV light filter. I designed this back rack for a few reasons. We have a Pioneer AC that is like a residential AC. This rack also carries a spare tire and also carries our bicycles. We designed this rack such a way that we can still have access to the back door. This is access to what we consider the garage area, which is under our bed. So in this storage, we have mostly tools. One of the features that we had to have was our hammock. In our previous rig, We were carrying our hammock all the time with us, and it was really difficult to find trees in some places to be able to hang our hammock. So we built our own hammock system.
I definitely learned that this is not at all what a lot of people on the internet make it out to be. Don't think that all of a sudden, if you go to build a van, that is going to be all perfect and all beautiful. It is hard work to do this. This was not an easy project. People leave that part out because it's not beautiful, but I think it needs to be talked about more.
I like that I also was able to learn new things and seeing also these crazy things that we had in our mind, in our head.
To come to life.
Yeah, to come to life. And yeah, it's really rewarding, and I really enjoy this process.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for watching this week's video. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next week with another tiny or unique home tour.